To restart.
Under part A of our question, we are expected to discuss the negotiating variables that can be considered while negotiating across borders, among which include delivery. Under delivery, we focus on when to deliver, the time, and where. This helps us to frame a contract agreement, and this in turn avoids delays, and it will make provision on how to treat delays in case they occur. The next point is contract period and or agreement. Under this, we focus on issues like when will the contract begin, when will the contract end, and the period the contracts will take. It also caters for provisions of clauses, whether it is a condition or a warrant that may be considered in a contract. And lastly, payment terms. Under payment terms, we look at when effect payment, the mode of payment, whether it is cash or check or EFT, and the currency to be used. I thank you.
Another variable that is considered while negotiating across borders is price. Here, a price has to be set. Before going to negotiation with the other party, the organization have to know the price on the world market for the goods and services they need. So it will help them have an upper hand for going to negotiations and avoid being cheated on the world market if they don't know the price. Then another variable that is considered when negotiating across borders is volume. This one goes in hand with specifications. Organizations have to negotiate on how much, how many, what size, what type. This will help them in the long run to determine the quality, the quantity, and also the price of the goods and services that they require. Again,
under part B of our question, we are required to discuss 5 other issues that may be considered complex in the negotiation context and provide strategies to overcome such a complexities. One of which include cultural differences. People in the world have different cultures, the way they have different norms, the way they eat, the way they behave, the way they dress. All these issues have to be put into consideration before you can consider entering into international negotiations. The strategy under this point is to ensure that you research and study the culture of the other party in order to ensure that you take advantage. The next point is religion. The world has different religions. For example, Christians pray on Sundays, Muslims pray on Fridays, and Seventh-day Adventists pray on Saturdays. Therefore, when discussing on the date of entering into a negotiation, you have to bear that in mind. You have to research and know such that you don't conflict with the day of worship, because it may be valuable to the parties. And lastly is political ideology. You need to understand the political ideology of the country. If the country is a democratic country, you have to know that. If it is a socialist country, you have to know that. And if it is a dictatorship country, you have to know that. And you also have to know the allies of that particular country, such that you don't go through those allies to lead the team for negotiation. The strategy is to ensure that you research about the political ideology of the country and ensure that you don't conflict with it. Thank you.
Another complex issue that while negotiating abroad that is considered is language. It should be noted that people all over the world speak different languages, and it's difficult. It's difficult when going to negotiate and understand that language. So while carrying out negotiations, you have to understand the languages of the other country you're going to negotiate with. The strategy here is that negotiating team has to have a member on them or among themselves that speaks and understands that language. Or if they don't have that one, they can also hire a translator on their team that understands that language. This will help them negotiate. The negotiations go smooth and well. Another complex issue here while negotiating across borders is communication. Here, from people over the world communicate differently. For example, when negotiating with the Americans, you're expected to be clear and define and respond to their answers to their questions. And when negotiating with the Japanese, you have to use vague comments, gestures, and signs. So the strategy here is the negotiating team should study and research very well how to conduct themselves in wide communications. In conclusion, when negotiating across borders, the organization and its negotiating has to consider these complex issues, study them, research them before beginning any kind of negotiations. This will help them in order to get the best deal for the organizations.